Here's the section of strings and user-defined data types. In this section, we would be learning more about strings and various user-defined data types. So first, let us start with strings. In this lesson, we would be learning what are strings, how to read a string, and functions for string manipulations and various operations. Now what are strings? Strings are actually one-dimensional array of characters terminated by a null character. In simple words, they are just the sequence of characters. Thus, a null-terminated string contains the characters that comprises the string followed by a null character. The declaration of the string is as follows. As we know, it is a character array, so it starts with a keyword char followed by a string name. And as we specify the number of elements within the array declaration, same goes with string also. Within the square brackets, we define the number of elements that our character array would contain, ended with a semicolon. Now how to initialize a string? There are various ways to initialize a string. Some of them are given here. Let's consider we have a character array C. Within the double quotes, we can specify the sequence of characters that our character array C would contain. Even if we do not specify the size within square brackets here, the number of characters used within the double quotes will be the size of the string. The second type of initialization is by specifying the number of elements and by initializing some of the initial elements of the string. The third type of initialization is specifying each character quoted in a single quote, separated by comma, and enclosed within curly braces. It is important to note that while doing character by character initialization, we need to specify this null character at the end, which indicates the termination of a string. Now let us see how this string would be allocated. As we know, it has 5 characters. The index would start from 0 and go till 4. The first element would be A, next would be B, C, and then D. And finally, the string will be terminated with a null character. So during string operations, when it encounters a null character, the compiler comes to know that the string has terminated. Now how to read a string from the user? We usually scan input using scanf function. So scanf function can be used to read a string. But it is interesting to know that scanf reads the sequence of characters until it encounters a white space. That is a space, new line, etc. Now let us try to scan a string from user using scanf. Let us first declare a character array and name our string as S, which will hold, let's say, 15 characters. Now using scanf, the format specifier for string is %s and store it in S and print it using printf. String is %s. %s would represent the string name, that is S. So let us see how it works. Let us first compile. Now here it is waiting to scan an input from user. So let's enter the input as strings are interesting. And our expected output is strings are interesting should be printed as it is. But we get the output as only strings. Why does it happen so? Because while scanning, we use the function scanf, and scanf reads the sequence until a white space is occurred. So after the strings, a white space has occurred. So only strings get stored into the string name S. Now what's the alternative for it? To read a line of text that is along with white spaces, fgetS is used as a function to read a line of string. Similarly, to print a line of text, putS is used as a function to print the string. Let us see its syntax. fgetS takes 3 parameters. Firstly, the name of the string, size of operator, which returns an integer value, that is the size of string, and stdin. And putS takes 1 parameter, that is the name of the string. Let us try doing scanning and printing using fgetS and putS. Let us declare the same string with 50 characters, and we would try scanning the string from the user using fgetS function. The first parameter is the name of the string, The second parameter is the size of operator, which returns the size of the string s, and stdin. We would try printing this using putS, which takes one parameter, that is name of the string. Let us see what the output is. Let us compile it. And execute it. And let us enter the input. Strings are interesting. And we got the output as expected. Strings are interesting, including the white spaces, is printed. So usually fgetS and fputS are used to scan and print the string. Now comes various functions for string manipulation. The first function is strlen. It computes the length of the string and returns the integer value. Let us see its definition. It returns an integer value and it takes one parameter, that is string name. Then comes the function strcpy. It copies one string to another. It returns a character pointer, that is, it returns a string, and we need to store the result in a character array. It takes two parameters, that is the target string name and the source string name. So the source string will get copied to the target string name. Then the function strcat. It concatenates two strings. Similar to strcpy, it takes two parameters, that is a destination string and the source string. The source string is concatenated by the destination string. Then comes the strcmp function, which compares two strings. It takes two parameters as str1 and str2 and it returns an integer value. If it returns 0, that means both the strings provided are equal. It returns negative value when str1 is smaller than str2. It returns a positive non-zero value when str1 is greater than str2. strwr and strupr are used to convert string to lowercase and uppercase respectively. Both of them take a single parameter, that is the string name. Let's have a quick recap. A string is considered as a sequence of characters terminated with a null character. Scanf reads the sequence of character until it encounters white space. So the solution for this is using fgetS function to read a line of string from the user, including the white spaces. And putS function is used to print the string. Next, we have an assignment where we would be using the concepts learned in this lesson to find the frequency of characters in a given string.